Donald Trump is having a catastrophic Monday before Christmas, and he wants to create distractions as he continues to cover up the Epstein files. As I predicted last night and this morning, when Donald Trump was posting about appointing a special envoy, Jeff Landry, the current governor of Louisiana, to be the special envoy to Greenland, that Donald Trump was trying to threaten war against Greenland and Denmark. Greenland is still part of the Kingdom of Denmark. That's precisely what Donald Trump wants to do, to create a distraction. And also, Donald Trump wants to try to impress Vladimir Putin, right? Putin's envoys were in Miami for the past 48 hours. So Donald Trump, and by the way, Trump was in Palm Beach while they were in Miami. They were right next to each other. So Trump was trying to show off to Putin, okay, I see what you're doing with Ukraine. You want to see me do it with Canada? You want to see me do it in Greenland? You want to see me do it in Venezuela? That's what Donald Trump is doing right here. I mean, look, I'm not being hyperbolic, right? There was the post from Donald Trump last night. I'm pleased to announce that I'm appointing Governor of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, as the special envoy to Greenland. And then I pointed out, yeah, that's because he's threatening war with Denmark and Greenland. Then Governor Jeff Landry posted, "Thank you, Donald Trump. It's an honor to serve you in this volunteer position to make Greenland a part of the U.S. This in no way affects my position as governor of Louisiana." I mean, so cavalierly threatening war with another NATO nation, an ally, although I don't know how Denmark and Greenland consider the United States an ally after the United States consistently threatens war against it. And you have a very strong response that was issued from Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and the Premier of Greenland, Jens Frederik Nielsen. Here was the joint statement that they just issued. "National borders and state sovereignty are deeply rooted in international law. These are fundamental principles. No one can annex other countries, not even by invoking arguments of international security. Greenland belongs to the Greenlandic people. We expect respect for our shared territorial integrity. No one must be allowed to change national borders by force, neither politically nor militarily." Then Denmark's foreign minister, Lars Rasmussen, told a Danish television show on Monday that he was summoning Washington's ambassador to Copenhagen, Ken Howry, to the ministry in the coming days to get an explanation. Rasmussen said he was deeply upset by this appointment of a special envoy, and particularly upset by the envoy, by Landry's statement, which he said Denmark found completely unacceptable. And look, Landry's a maniac. Have you ever seen this guy speak in Louisiana before and the types of things that he talks about? Louisiana really screwed up big time by putting this MAGA maniac there. He's hurting Louisiana, which is like one of the worst ranked in many categories right now. And it's just a sad thing that as Donald Trump's covering up a child sex trafficking ring, he's now provoking wars. Venezuela, with Greenland, and it just feels like he's just going back to that playbook that we saw when this year started. Talk about what Donald Trump also is doing. He's officially denied Colorado's request for disaster relief funding following the Elk and Lee fires and the Western Slope flooding this summer. Donald Trump demanded that Colorado release a January 6th insurrectionist and someone who was involved in trying to overthrow the results of the 2020 election named Tina Peters. Colorado refused to do it. It's a state's rights. She was convicted. Donald Trump doesn't have the right to issue a pardon there, so he issued a fake one. So now Donald Trump is retaliating against Colorado. But frankly, he would find pretext to retaliate against them, whether it was Tina Peters or some other issue. I mean, I live in California. Donald Trump is not providing the needed disaster relief to California. I just interviewed the governor of North Carolina, Governor Josh Stein. Donald Trump has provided no new appropriations for Hurricane Helene disaster relief. Biden immediately approved everything. Trump has been slow rolling Biden's disaster relief. to go to North Carolina, and Trump didn't approve any new disaster relief. No, what Trump wants to do is put all this money into ICE to build up his private police force, private military force, the Border Patrol, Gestapo, to engage in this state-sponsored terrorism that you see across the country right now with people being thrown into concentration camps. That's what this regime does. Senator John Hickenlooper, Senator of Colorado, says this isn't a game. These are people's lives. Coloradans are trying to rebuild their lives after fires and floods destroyed homes and communities across our state. Trump's decision to reject our disaster requests and therefore withhold resources as our communities continue to recover is unacceptable. And look, I mean, whether it's California or Colorado or North Carolina, these are resilient states who are paying taxes to the federal government, propping up the federal government. And what's the federal government doing in return? Attacking the states at some point. Enough is enough. By the way, just a quick reminder, make sure you hit subscribe to this YouTube channel. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not actually be subscribed. So double check. We're trying to hit 6 million subscribers before the end of this year. And especially after what CBS did and its censorship and its capitulation, independent news is more important now than ever. Just as I mentioned, one of the things that I think spurred Donald Trump's threats against Greenland, the renewed threats. I just think part of it is that the Russians are in Miami and they're hanging out with Trump's crew. I mean, look, you have Special Envoy Steve Witkoff saying the following. Over the last 2 days in Florida, the Russian Special Envoy Kirill Dmitriev held productive and constructive meetings with the American delegation to advance Trump's peace plan on Ukraine. The American delegation included Special Envoy Witkoff, Kushner, and White House staff member Josh Grunbaum. Russia remains fully committed to achieving peace in Ukraine. Russia highly values the efforts and support of the United States to resolve the Ukrainian conflict and reestablish global security. Notice the language that he uses there are also Russian words and Russian language. The Ukrainian conflict. You mean Russia's invasion of Ukraine? And then he goes on to talk about how Russia remains fully committed to achieving peace in Ukraine. No, it doesn't. Ukraine has agreed to a ceasefire. Russia says it won't do a ceasefire unless it can take over all of eastern Ukraine. It wants Donbass, which it hasn't been able to conquer by military force the way Donald Trump wants to conquer Greenland, Canada, and Venezuela with military force. Do you see, everybody, what's going on here? This is about authoritarian monarchs, Trump wanting to be Putin, Putin wanting to take over all of Europe, and them also saying, well, China gets Asia. That's what this is about. Multipolar world. That's how Trump sees it. America controls the Western Hemisphere, and up to kind of Greenland as well. That's America's, is what he believes. South America, he believes is America. Canada, he believes is America. Russia, you get Europe, and China, you get all of Asia. That's their worldview. And when you recognize that, everything makes sense. Russia is not agreeing to any peace plan, and this language that's used by these horrific human beings in the Trump regime are horrible. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, says, this statement is a sick joke. U.S. foreign policy is a sick joke being implemented by enemies of truth, freedom, and democracy. These are terrorists. These are sick, evil human beings. And sometimes what you have to do, you have to use the right language just to refer to these people. They are evil. The people running the United States are not good. They are evil, bad humans who want to hurt you. They want to kill you. They hate you. They are evil people. That's it. Simple. That's why they cover up child sex trafficking rings. They are evil. They are evil. Everything they do is with an evil ends. Why don't they provide disaster relief? They're evil, bad humans who are put here to inflict harm on people. You just have to say it like that. One of the things we're seeing as well, hat tip to Josh Rogan at the Post, he provided the following info. I've obtained a list of 48 U.S. ambassadors at embassies and overseas missions the Trump administration is recalling from their posts with little or no explanation. They span the globe, and along with the existing several dozen vacancies, leave an unprecedented number of U.S. embassies and overseas missions leaderless. The list compiled internally at the State Department, and there may be others as well as more changes going forward. But right now, it seems that all of these ambassadors are being recalled. Just look at this list. From Egypt to Congo to Botswana to Algeria to the African Union to Uganda to Zambia, Armenia. I mean, we're just pulling all our ambassadors out. Lithuania, Slovakia, Micronesia, just pulling every ambassador out. What are we doing here? I mean, this policy is incomprehensible other than it is intended to destroy America abroad and at home. I don't know how else to describe it. While Trump and his oligarchs, while Trump and his team loot and plunder the taxpayer dollars. So I showed you that Colorado isn't getting disaster relief, but Kash Patel is getting his BMW X5 Armada, whatever you call it. FBI Director Kash Patel now rides around in an armored BMW X5 at times. He ordered taxpayers to pay over $1 million for a small fleet of BMWs, sources said, claiming they helped him be more covert than the SUVs, the Chevrolet Suburbans, that the FBI normally uses. Patel earlier this year pressed the FBI to purchase a new, more modern FBI jet as well for his use. But that proposal was abandoned over the cost estimates that were between $90 million and $115 million. But he now gets his fleet of BMW X5s. Just drive around in the freaking Suburban. What are you doing? This was also a big story this morning. Hundreds of big post-election donors have benefited from Trump's return to office. The president's team, this is how the New York Times phrases it, the president's team has created a highly unusual fundraising apparatus for causes he favors. Let me just translate that into normal speak. Donald Trump is engaged in a criminal enterprise where he accepts quid pro quo bribes. The Times analyzed more than $500 million in contributions from 346 donors. Some have received pardons, jobs, access to the president, and other valuable gains. So while you're suffering, while the American people are living paycheck to paycheck, if they're getting a paycheck at all, being psychologically tortured, while Americans can't afford things, this is what's going on in the Trump regime. One $2.5 million contribution to MAGA Inc. was given by a South Florida woman whose father months later received an unusually lenient deal from the top Justice Department's officials to settle charges he bribed Puerto Rico's then governor in 2020. Another $2.5 million pledge donation, this one to Mr. Trump's White House ballroom project, came from Parsons Corporation, an engineering firm that has won government contracts for years, including Mr. Trump, and is jockeying for some of the more than $1 trillion in contracts that could be awarded to build a missile defense system proposed by the president called the Golden Dome. Also giving $2.5 million to the Ballroom Project was the chief executive of Roblox, a popular online video game that has plotted a Trump executive order and other initiatives involving children's use of artificial intelligence. That's not dangerous at all, I'm sure. Children's use of artificial intelligence in Roblox. A couple who donated $1 million to Mr. Trump's inaugural committee and $500,000 to MAGA Inc., as well as an undisclosed amount to the Ballroom Fund, saw Trump nominate their son to become the ambassador to Finland, while we're taking away all those other ambassadors who seem to be qualified, or who may be qualified. This is what they're doing. And a company that was accused last year by the Justice Department of colluding over ticket prices donated $250,000 to Trump's inauguration. The president pardoned the company's co-founder in a separate case. And look at the buffet at Mar-a-Lago right now, everybody. Stone crab, ice sculptures at the golf club this weekend, right? So as people can't afford basic necessities, this is what they're doing at the Trump regime. Finally, let me share with you this. You had Doug Burgum, Secretary of the Interior, saying that the United States is invoking national security to now shut down the 5 large offshore wind projects. So they're going to use national security as a pretext to destroy wind energy, which could lower energy prices. So this is what they said. Play this clip.
What next action did you want to tell us about this morning?
Well, today we're sending notifications to the 5 large offshore wind projects that are under construction, that they're going to be, their leases will be suspended due to national security concerns. During this time of suspension, we'll work with the companies to try to find a mitigation. But we completed the work that President Trump has asked us to do. The Department of War has come back conclusively that the issues related to these large offshore wind programs create radar interference that creates a genuine risk for the U.S., particularly related to the where they are in proximity to our East Coast population centers.
You have MAGA Republican Congress member Russell Fry saying that, Democrats, they're the ones who love to remove statues of Confederates. So that's why Donald Trump needs to put his name on the Kennedy Center. Like, these are like pathetic men. I don't want to call them men. These are like pathetic humans. Who is this? Russell Fry? This guy wake up, look at himself in a mirror and go, I'm a frickin' loser. You are Russell Fry. You are a pathetic human being. Here, play this clip of this pathetic loser. Here, play this clip.
So wait a minute, Congressman. Now that they care about landmarks, just how many historical figures did they take down in South Carolina in 2020?
I mean, a lot. I just find this incredibly rich, coming from a party that spray paints monuments, desecrates memorials, tears down statues. This is really rich. President Trump, I mean, the Kennedy Center has been a financial mess for a long time. President Trump, they had $250 million in deferred maintenance. But the president raised $130+ million in private donations. Congress has also acted. This reaffirms America and President Trump's commitment to the art.
And then you've got Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, she's got a holiday gift for everybody that she wants everybody to know. A holiday gift from Kristi Noem. Here, play this clip.
Meanwhile, your department has a big announcement today because some folks have decided, you know what, they don't want to go through the immigration process anymore. They're in the country illegally and they're going to self-deport. And you're announcing a new incentive. What is that announcement, Madam Secretary?
Well, it's home for the holidays season. So, not only are we returning those kiddos back to their families that Biden lost, we also are saying that if you voluntarily want to go home now to your country, if you're in this United States of America illegally, we will give you $3,000 through the holidays to send you home. We'll buy you a ticket, give you $3,000 to go home, and that includes people that have not been detained, maybe have interacted with us, are detained and don't have criminal charges against them. Yeah, raise your hand. We'll help you get home. We'll facilitate it, and you might get the chance to come back to this country the right way someday. If you wait until we interdict you and detain you and arrest you and have to deport you ourselves, you'll never get the chance to come back. So go on the CBP Home app and get the information, and we'll make sure you get home in time for Christmas.
All right, let's see.
A reminder, hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.